Over the last few years, there's a lot's been talked about HMO conversions and a lot of gearing on HMO conversions where people are taking out maximum money on properties.
Yes.
Okay, as a group, what do you think is the state of some of the investors who are gearing so highly on future projections on these HMO returns, where they're taking properties for a few $100,000? I mean, Jim's is slightly different, but I'll get onto that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about some of the properties that are oversaturated in markets with HMOs, and they don't share that actually it's not that easy to run a HMO and get them rented out.
Again, that's a lot of time that's greed. When people look at the figures and think, okay, if I do that as a HMO, I'm going to earn this much. They don't actually look at the long-term costs. And we've had it in lots of areas where in HMOs the rooms are actually being redetermined for council tax. So that's an issue then for landlords, or for somebody who's taken on that property, especially when they're taking it on as a rent to rent, so they don't actually own the asset. But when you've got investors that have actually obviously borrowed money from somebody else to invest in these projects and sold it on the basis of, okay, it's going to be worth this much, and they've remortgaged it to the hilt, so there's no real squeeze room in there at all. There's a lot of it's stopped now, but some years ago there were quite a few lenders that were doing commercial valuations on these 3-bedroom terrace properties that have been converted into 5 and 6 bed HMOs. Those lenders are now obviously not in the market doing that at all, but those people that have got those mortgages have got nowhere else to go. If those lenders recall those loans, they're in a lot of trouble, because the value of those properties is not what they thought it was going to be. And a lot of the times I've seen, as a mortgage broker, I've had clients come to me and say, I'm buying this property, I'm going to convert it into a 5-bed HMO, the commercial valuation on it is going to be this much. And I'm like, no, it's not. Let's get back to your valuation is never going to be that much. So this money that you're promising to these investors, it's not going to happen, because you are not going to be able to refinance that out to be able to pay them off. So you've got to be careful as a property investor in terms of the projects that you're looking at, but also if you're a silent investor and you're going to somebody and they're telling you all these high figures and giving you this dream, you've got to look into it. You've got to be responsible for the money that you're investing into those projects. Don't say, well, he told me it was going to be this much. That doesn't work. You can't use that as an argument and then say, well, okay, now I've lost all my money because he told me. He's not a qualified financial advisor. If you want qualified financial advice, go to a qualified financial advisor. If you want to put your money into things like that, learn